So, hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mels Gaming here with another The Hunter Call of the Wild video. Now, this video is going to be a little bit of a mix of things. We're going to start off this video by actually taking a look at some mule deer trophies that I got during my Great One mule deer grind before the Great One actually showed up, which I know it's been a really long time between videos. If you've seen my community tab posts, you'll kind of have an idea of what's been going on, getting ready for a house move that's happening sort of middle of next month, middle of August. I've just come out of hospital. There's been a lot going on, and I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone that sent their well wishes my way while I was in hospital. I am out now and hopefully should be okay. They think I had septic arthritis, so that was fun, and I'm still pretty ill and, you know, not feeling great. But I really wanted to get a video out. I've been sitting on these clips for darn near a month, and, you know, there's so many trophies I still want to go and hunt. There's a lot of stuff going on. Also, update about the PC situation. As you may know if you saw some of my community tab posts, I was hoping to get like a desktop PC set up when I moved. Not really gonna actually be able to happen. But what I am looking at doing is getting a much more powerful laptop setup with a bit of a different way of having it set up, so I should maybe still hopefully be able to stream and stuff. It's just kind of got to go through some tweaking and stuff once I actually get into the new place and get sorted, so might take a little bit longer than expected and not quite what I expected, but hopefully everything will turn out just fine. At the minute, everything is just utter chaos, so I really do apologise for the long gap in content, and I really do appreciate all of your support. You've all been so kind, and I really do appreciate all of it, really, truly. But as you'll have seen, we had a couple of nice diamonds, and we had a nice size level 4 dilute. I really liked dilutes since they got the update. Kind of, they match the vibe of Askiy Ridge, and all of the trophies in this video are from Askiy Ridge. Obviously, with it being the newest map, it is the map I'm putting the most focus in at the moment, and you know, with the Great One mule deer, one of the first things I wanted to try and do was get a Great One mule deer. And with everything that's been going on, you know, like I mentioned in the videos leading up to the Great One mule deer actually spawning and stuff, this laptop is starting to slow down. I'm struggling with lag, using a controller with stick drift, everything just needs updating. And so at the minute I've just been working with what I've got and trying to get stuff done as best I can. But during the grind, I did actually have something really special show up besides the Great One, and that is this guy right here. Now, you will have seen he had an absolutely giant minimum estimate of 342, and upon picking him up, he is 342.71, and he is max weight as well. So, as far as I know, it is currently believed that 342.71 is actually the technical max score for mule deer. Now, there's always a bit of a debate whenever it comes to tree rack animals. There's not really supposed to be a max score, but for certain species, when there's lots of people shooting them, you'll see that there is sort of a top-end score. And of course, with a system in a game, there is going to be a top end that things reach. With whitetail, it's 275.53. You know, it's just that top end that things can reach. So that is like currently the known max. So that was a really cool diamond to actually end up getting. And of course, my personal best. And something else that I got that was pretty darn special whilst grinding mule deer was this. And it was a complete surprise. I showed up to this lake, no mule deer, which sometimes seems to happen. They just don't like to show up. And what I saw was an absolutely giant bighorn walking across the ice. And as you will have seen, I was trying to get him to stop just by sort of running behind him. Thankfully, he did stop, and I mean, just look at the horns on this guy. This was my first time seeing a really big bighorn, and I mean, wow. Max weight at 160 kgs, 212.05. This guy is a monster. Like, this is a big diamond bighorn with the new horns, and they look incredible. That is so much better looking than the old bighorn. It's like a new species. Like, the bighorn got so much love with new rares. There's leucistics, piebalds, melanistics, as well as albinos now, and these insane looking diamonds that are just so much more realistic and so much more detailed in the actual, like, horn models themselves than they ever were. Just incredible. Now, another old species on this map that got a lot of love with this update is the pronghorn, and I did end up finding a level 5 pronghorn whilst hunting around in multiplayer. Now, again, I am still using the controller with stick drift, so you may have seen there, like, I was struggling to get the, like, the aim point exactly where I wanted, like, in the reticle and stuff. That is going to be something you see throughout this video, so if I'm taking a little bit longer with shots than I normally do, or you're seeing me, like, sort of going from side to side, and that's me trying to, like, deal with the stick drift. But this guy is amazing looking. And again, this was my first time seeing, like, a really big pronghorn with the improved horn models, and they are incredible. And this guy does end up making diamond at 112.78. That is a beautiful pronghorn. Again, these guys have new rares as well. They have melanistics now, which I would really like to find a melanistic. Unfortunately, the piebalds don't look good at all. I'm not sure if the piebald skins aren't, like, I don't know, rendering incorrectly or something. They just look really weird and pale, and one of them doesn't even look piebald at all. So that's unusual, but in general, the pronghorn looked really, really nice, and I was really happy to actually get a diamond one with those much more detailed horns. That is a much better looking pronghorn. But moving on to another clip, and this time we have another diamond. But it is a diamond of the new species. We have a level 3 Dusky grouse. And oh my gosh, you'll notice my loadout there was full of decoys for birds. That's because I was on my way up this mountain to hunt snow geese and pintail. And I saw the tracks for a Dusky grouse not far from the lodge. And I thought, oh, that's a max weight track. I'll just see, you know, if I can see this bird, seeing as it's going the same way I am. And up in front of me flushes a level 3, and this thing made me chase it around sort of the base of this mountain area for like 40 or 50 minutes. It was insane trying to catch up with this bird. And you can see that track distance of 5.94 kilometers. I actually think that's pretty accurate, because I was just chasing this bird around in circles. It was absolutely insane, but I was so glad when I finally actually got to see him in the vegetation and actually take him there with the 22. 158.33 scoring diamond Dusky grouse. That was a really nice one to tick off of the list. And these guys have some incredible rares. I've seen leucistic, melanistic, albino. Would really love to get some rares for those guys. And talking of rares, going up that mountain to a setup where I have some snow geese decoys and some pintail decoys. I have found that this particular spot is a very good spot for both species, and amongst all of the birds that came in here, I noticed there was a female pintail that looked different. I couldn't quite pinpoint what it actually was, but I knew it was different. And upon having the dog bring it towards me there, I was like, oh, that is definitely something. And it turned out to be a piebald. Now, as I said, these clips are like a month old. These were just after this map released. I hadn't seen what these looked like, so I was really kind of surprised to see the piebald for the female pintail. And I actually really like it. It's different. It's kind of got that sort of half and half look to it, similar to like the piebald beavers, where they've got the white head and neck and then like the darker sort of rump and sort of rear quarters. But yeah, it's that interesting looking piebald where it's just mainly the front of it that's white with some of the normal plumage speckled in. Very interesting looking and very different. Now again, sticking with Pintail, and this time I was at a Pintail only setup right at the starting lodge, again in multiplayer, and I could see a male Pintail over there in the shadows that looked a little bit different. Managed to just get a shot there. It was so difficult to actually try and get the reticle in the right place and just actually managed to get this guy, so I was really pleased with that shot. And this guy, I didn't know what he was. I hadn't seen one of these. All I knew is that this bird looked incredible. And it is actually the piebald variation for the males. Now, I don't know if there's multiple variations of the piebalds, but this is all I have seen so far, and they look incredible. It's a smart-looking piebald. There's a tufted duck piebald that I always say looks quite smart. It's got very sort of similar markings. It's just a really, really nice piebald. I really like it. With some of the darker feathers on the back and going down on the tail, and then of course you have the darker feathers on the head. I just think that's a really, really nice looking bird, so I'm super happy with that. And then, once again, up in the mountains, hunting snow geese and pintail, and something came in and landed that wasn't a snow goose, but was bright white, and that's because that is an albino pintail. I was having so much luck with rare pintails and just pintail in general up here that this is now one of my favourite pintail spots. I'm still trying to get a diamond, but I'm hopeful that if I keep coming to this spot and hunting for the snow geese and the pintail at the same time, that we'll get even more trophies and hopefully eventually a diamond for each species. But this albino is so beautiful and so shiny. It's angelic looking. Just absolutely gorgeous. Like, I don't really think I've seen many other albinos that are really that glossy and shiny, and I really like it. It really adds something to that albino look, having those feathers be that glossy, because it makes sense for a bird like this to have that kind of shiny plumage, and I really, really liked that. Really, really cool bird. But, as I said, this is a setup for snow geese and pintail, and I have had a couple of really cool rare snow geese. This was the first one. Now, I did actually see one of these on release day for Askiy Ridge in multiplayer, and I saw it flying overhead. I actually had a level 5 Manitoban elk in my sights that unfortunately ended up being a troll. I took note of where the goose was flying, and I put decoys down in the area, kept resetting the time. The goose never came back. I theorise that, you know, it maybe got stuck or something, because I have seen the geese getting stuck in the side of the mountains and stuff when they're flying. So I guess it maybe got stuck and wasn't getting unstuck when I was resetting the time, and so it just never came back. But here, I finally managed to get one on the ground. This is one of the morphs for the snow geese. This is the intermediate morph. Now, anything for snow geese that isn't the white morph is a rare. So there's the intermediate morph, there's a blue morph, there's a hybrid, melanistic and albino, I think are all the rares. But anything that isn't that standard white morph is a rare. And these look really cool. It reminds me a lot of the hybrid grey lag goose. Like, that plumage and the way it is just very, very similar. And I was so gutted when I lost the one in multiplayer on release day. I spent hours and hours and hours resetting and trying to get that bird to come back, and it never did. So when I saw that, it was a huge relief to get a second opportunity at getting one of those. It was a female, just like the first one I spotted, so I was super, super happy to get some redemption with that. And then I spotted this bird. And this is actually the second time I had it come in. The first time it came in, I took a shot, but because of the stick drift, the shot went way off to the side and they spooked. And I was panicking because multiplayer. And it, like I said, I lost that other intermediate morph goose in multiplayer on release day, and I was like, I do not want to lose this. That is so obviously a melanistic snow goose. I cannot lose it. Again, spent hours resetting, And finally, she showed back up. And I was like, right, we are going to back right up so that if I do miss, it should be okay. And as soon as this thing walks in, we're going to make sure that we range everything and we're just going to take it nice and slow. And as soon as I feel confident, I'll take the shot, which is exactly what happened there. And she dropped. Oh, what a sight. A melanistic snow goose. It's just such a cool animal. Like, when they are just normally that bright white colour, seeing one that is such a stark difference, it's so cool. It's the same as melanistic mountain goats. You see those and they just stand out so much. I absolutely love them. I think they are so, so cool. And I'd seen a few people get these, you know, in early access in the first couple of days. And I was like, oh, that's a really cool rare. I need that for the lodge. So when I saw this one come back, managed to get that shot, it was such a relief and that's so exciting. What an incredible bird. Now, I do just want to mention there a little trick that I did. So you may have noticed it wasn't letting me pick up the goose. So what I did is pulled the camera out and then put it away again, and then you will have seen it allowed me to actually harvest the animal. So if you are ever, in multiplayer, single player, it doesn't matter, and unable to harvest an animal, try bringing out the camera and then putting it away again. Quite often I find that that fixes it and lets me collect it. As long as you're not disconnected from the multiplayer server, if you're in multiplayer, then normally that works. That's a really handy trick. So that actually let me pick this goose up, because for a second there it wouldn't let me and I was panicking a little bit, because after all that time trying to get it, finally get it, and then it wouldn't let me pick it up. I was so worried that I was going to lose it. But we do have a melanistic snow goose for the lodge. Absolutely amazing. My next sort of most wanted rare for these guys is the albino, because I think it looked really awesome to have the albino and the mela side by side in the lodge. So, fingers crossed, keep coming up to this particular spot that I really like, that eventually maybe one will show up, as well as a level 5. But for the last eclipse, we are moving over to wood ducks, but we are sticking with the theme of rares. Now, once again, these were 2 rares that I had never ever seen in, like, any posts or anything. So seeing them, like, in-game for the first time, I was like, what is that? That looks awesome. And this beautiful female, I just think this looks incredible. I was thinking this has to be a piebald, because, I mean, look at it. It looks like it should be a piebald, but that yellow ring around the eye with the, like, grey as a ring around the yellow, and then the sheen on the back, it's so pretty, and it is a piebald, but this just looks so pretty. This is one of my favourite piebald variations for any waterfowl, I think. It just looks gorgeous. I really, really like what they did with the rare wood ducks. There are some amazing rares for these guys. I really, really, really desperately would like a melanistic, but I also would like the etheristic golden. Yeah, I hope I'm saying that right. It's such a hard word to pronounce, but there are some stunning ones. The dilute silvers. Oh, there's just some amazing looking rares. But then, I ended up finding this. Again, I had no idea what I was looking at. Not one of these that I had seen posted at this point. And I was like, what on earth are you? You look really different. And again, when I was looking at it there, I was like, that's got to be a piebald, right? Same as the female, it has to be a piebald variation. And the dog bringing it over there, you can see it a bit more clearly. And then getting to have a close-up look at it, I was like, oh wow. Look at all, like, the little white flecks around the face. Look at that detail. Amidst all that colour, that white, it just, I think it's absolutely gorgeous. A gold piebald wood duck. So we actually have the pair, the male and the female piebalds, and I think they are stunning. And I can't wait to try and get more rares for these guys. I've been hunting them pretty hard when I have been hunting Askiy Ridge, because they have some of my favourite trophies overall, I think, out of all of the species. So, fingers crossed we can get some more of the amazing rares, and hopefully a diamond for these guys as well. this particular spot has been really good for numbers of wood duck, so hopefully if we just keep pursuing them, eventually we'll get even more rares and hopefully some diamonds for the trophy lodge as well. But yeah, it's been pretty cool so far out on Askiy Ridge. I've not obviously had as much time to hunt it as I would have liked, but there's so much to still go for. Like, I've got so many trophies I still want to actually try and get in the coming months, so I've got a lot of stuff to work on. I'd like to get another great one mule deer as well, so I have been shooting more and more mule deer and had more diamonds and stuff for those sort of in the background as well, so working on a lot of different things. But like I said, at the moment content is just, if I can get a video out I will, but I don't know until things are more settled and obviously the move is done and everything, and struggles with the PC, etc, 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 as I've already mentioned, and also me being ill. So we will just see how everything goes. But once again, a huge thank you for all of your patience, all of your well wishes. You're all so amazing. I have such a lovely community. You are all so awesome, and I really appreciate everything you all do. You are amazing. But that is going to be it for this video, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.